every activity or agreement that he takes on is something that he's willing to die to succeed at.
Right.
Or
at least not take a nap. I don't know. Hey, Internets! It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 2, The Passenger. We begin Episode 2 pretty much right where Episode 1 left off. Our hero, Mando, on a speeder bike, heading back to Mos Eisley, and he is waylaid by what I assume are bounty hunters. They're like, get the child! So they have a directive. Anyway, bounty hunters do the old rope trick, like whoop, 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 whoop. And he gets in a big fight. Looks like, oh, Baby Yoda's in trouble. Got a knife to his throat. But a little negotiation. Gives the guy his jetpack, and then Art remotely uses it, and chan, finishes that. And he makes his way to Mos Eisley by walking through the desert in his armor.
Yes.
Whew! Stench. Kind of reminds me of, this is a weird analogy, but Miami Vice, Don Johnson. I always thought, he's in Miami.
Yes.
And he's walking around Miami in canvas shoes, no socks. I'm like, oh, whoo! I'm glad I just not smell-o-vision. Anyway, okay, but so that's the opening for The Mandalorian. We end The Mandalorian with he gets through with this ordeal, which we'll talk about on the ice planet, and he's heading off to a moon of Trask, where supposedly he's going to meet up with some Mandalorians. And the last little shot is Baby Yoda eats yet another frog egg.
Yes.
Which I guess we'll talk about that too. But and then played for laughs. Yep, we're done.
It's
okay.
just hilarious.
That's the framing for this episode. Notably, it's directed by Peyton Reed, the guy who directed the Ant-Man movies.
Yes.
And in the cantina in Mos Eisley, there is this big ant species character, and his name is Dr. Mandible, which sounds like he's going to be the next Ant-Man 3 villain, if I had to guess. But no. Anyway, Dr. Mandible. The premise is that Amy Sedaris, our engineer, is like, hey, I know somebody looking for passage to this moon of Trask, and they know that there apparently are Mandalorians there as well. And this frog lady is what they call her. Frog lady's husband has seen Mandalorians on this moon. The catch is, gotta go sublight, because these eggs will be destroyed if you go too fast. Which sounds like a plot device, frankly. Like, wait, we can just get there? No. It's the opposite of speed. This thing goes over 60. So, good sir, before we launch into specifics, what are your general thoughts of The Passenger?
I mean, I enjoyed the episode. Even though I continue to want it to be a show that it's not, but the show that it is fine. I mean, it's good. I look forward to seeing it, and then I watch it. No, the nature of the show that I would like it to be is if there were more character development, and if there were, some greater sense of situations around him. Like what kind of world is it after the Empire fell and all that. They give a little bit of that.
We get a little bit of that.
Suggesting that we could see more. Like, the previous episode, it's like we learn about, Tatooine, and, he has a conflict that's resolved rather quickly, and there are people who like, conflicts to be, resolved in an episode, and I like stories that carry on. And as I think I mentioned before, it's another man versus nature, So that's the biggest conflict that he, and
somebody pointed out that there's just this was based on last week's with the crate dragon, but it seems like it's like, the Mandalorian big game hunter. Like he just finds a big creature, kills it.
Yes.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Move on to the next big thing. Kill it. Anyway, but
and it certainly was an element of the original series. It's just, the fact that the way the shows are segmented, it ends up being a rather large part of the, I think it's interesting the types of things they're doing that slowly, but I guess, they're sort of preparing us for the end of the season where we'll see more of Boba Fett and, some of these other characters, but yeah. I still did enjoy it. It looks great. All the effects look great.
Look great, doesn't it? Man almighty, they spent some money on this, and good money. They didn't just throw money away. It is beautifully shot.
And I'm surprised you haven't specifically called out the jetpack bit as a humorous moment.
It's a funny moment, and it ends with a fun little punchline of the jetpack landing, and then boom, it just falls over and blackout. It's a blackout. It's a comedy blackout. Somebody knew what they were doing there. The chase with the X-Wing chase looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And apparently Mando, very talented pilot. I mean, we knew that kind of already, but his piloting skills are on display here, and he's got that in his skill set.
Right.
Piloting. Combat pilot. One of the X-Wing pilots is Dave Filoni.
Right.
Worked on all kinds of aspects of Star Wars.
I guess we're supposed to, it's that same character he was playing before.
Season 1, he played, I think his name is Trapper Wolf.
Yeah.
And yes, so there was a Season 1 episode where he showed up. And this is what you mentioned, what is this world like? We get the little glimpse of it here where he and another pilot are their New Republic scouts, I guess, whatever. They're and they are demanding that Mando identify himself. They're looking, they said, for stray Empire folks, I think. So they're looking for folks connected to the Empire to make sure they're not marauding around. And they do play them off hey, these are okay guys. They made it very clear that they're these aren't just like the Empire. These aren't TIE fighter pilots. They care. They're don't make us shoot you.
Well, they weren't part of the Empire, so they should be nicer.
Right. No, they should be. But you know what I mean? They're very careful to be look, these guys have consciences, and they're not just doing their job. And okay, he's a lawbreaker. Yep. Take him in. Here's something story-wise, which is a little odd. We'll talk about Baby Yoda real fast.
Okay.
So Baby Yoda, one of the running gags in this one is Baby Yoda keeps eating these frog eggs.
Yes.
Which are apparently incredibly valuable because this is the end of this species.
Yes.
The whole point is our species will go extinct if these eggs don't get fertilized.
Yes.
So they place huge importance on these eggs.
Yes, they do.
And yet it's still this comedic beat where they're not going to miss 4 of them.
Yeah.
Will they? They're not. It's not like there are millions in that tank. So it was a little odd that it was played for laughs. I was that's a pretty serious topic. This is the stakes of this episode, and then you're just tossing it off it's
you.
But it also brings up to me the point that it feels like Baby Yoda has regressed since last season. At the end of season 1, when he or Mando were threatened by the end of the season, he was pretty capable, if needed, of using the Force at times, right? I mean, he's not dependable, but he could be oh my God, we're in trouble. There was the flamethrower guy,
right?
And he turned the flames back on the guy.
Yeah.
And, the Mudhorn was going to kill Mando, and he levitates it. I mean, he had not only powers, but enough sense to go, oh, we're in danger, let me use my powers. And it feels like there's been some situations, especially in this episode, where he could have used some powers to help them.
And he's guess.
I don't know. He seems like he's gone back in time a little bit.
To me, a baby's like a pet. I mean, it's whatever the script needs. They're not going as far as Lassie. What dog? Huh? The Billy is trapped in a well. They're not going as far as that, but. It's the baby's cute.
I guess I was
think of it like a dungeon master, where it's let's see what we roll this time for the Yoda baby.
I felt like because he is such an important part of the plot, and at the end of season 1, it seemed like
not
he was
this
starting
episode.
Well, I'm saying generally. He's the reason Mando's going out into space. He's
Right.
He's kind of the overall arc involves Baby Yoda quite a bit, and Baby Yoda was actually assisting in his own protection at times. It felt like maybe he was going to become more of an actual character. Maybe non-speaking role, but like a confidant. I don't know.
Confidant?
I thought there was more of an upward trajectory for Baby Yoda, and I think I was wrong.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be like, whatever he does is gravy. He's got there to look cute.
Yeah.
And eat frog eggs.
Okay, I hope you can adjust.
Okay, I'm going to adjust. There was that weird moment where he does seem to use the Force on the eggs. Like the eggs all move toward him.
Yes, they do.
Was that just like, come to me, I must eat you?
Yes.
I don't know what that was all about.
Yes.
But I will. But anyway, so Baby Yoda is still 2 episodes into season 2. Season 2 Yoda is a prop at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, I assume something's coming where Baby Yoda will be useful again. So far, not the case.
Yeah, no, I mean, in situations that it's like, oh, we're in a jam, we don't want to get out of it too easily, how can we surprise with his abilities, and they're not, it's not every episode where you see something. In fact, it's not every other episode. So they're using it sparingly, which I think is probably appropriate. I mean, it's called the Mandalorian. So if he can't get himself out of a situation, you don't want to be like, Yoda, could come on, could you?
Yeah. Oh, wait, you mean these eggs can't survive in hyperspace? Yoda, you want to just, all right, they're fine. We'll be fine. We can just actually go at full speed now. All right, we got there. Yay!
It's like, oh boy, there's a bunch of spiders. Could you take care of them, Baby Yoda? Come on.
Whoa. That's what I was looking, because the spider actually attacks Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, get ready. That spider's in trouble. Nope. No.
He has not received the training. Yes. So there you go.
That's right. He's trying to get to a spot where he can get training. One of the fun little moments in here was when Mando is trying to talk his way out of trouble with the X-wing pilots, and which kind of reminded me a little bit of Han Solo in the Empire a little bit with the Anyway, but during that
conversation anyway.
Yeah, he knows the greeting that you would use with New Republic guys, which is "May the Force be with you," and they're like, "And also with you." But obviously, he has no idea what that means.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like whoop,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just interesting. I kind of liked that. I mean, as much as it was like, oh, that's odd, but I also was like, yeah, in some ways, yeah. It's just he knows a word to say that's like,
yeah, it makes sense.
He doesn't know anything behind it at all.
No.
The Force, whatever, blah 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 blah. Although also, this is kind of reflecting back on my comment last week. I really like this. I like that the frog lady can't communicate, and then she sees this deactivated droid from the same episod of season 1
battle
as
droid,
Dave Filoni.
Yes.
And turns it on to use it as a communicator. I thought that was really, really cool. But what it made me think is, okay, you got this droid, you've activated it in some way, you could just access its memory. Hey, droid, where do I find Jedi?
Oh.
Let me give you a history of the Jedi. No. We're going to go to this moon of Trask and then ask some frog guy where the Mandalorians are and hope that those Mandalorians happen to know something about Jedi. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It has a very traditional understanding of how information is passed.
Yep.
I should say traditional, but very old school type of way.
School.
This person has, we don't have planetary communication where someone could just call up these people. We have to go out there.
Yep. And in fact, he could if he really wanted to. He doesn't because he does have a code. But he could now he could screw over Frog Lady, be like, wait, so you're saying your husband saw Mandalorians, and your husband's on this moon of Trask? Okay, well, that's all I needed to know. Thanks, bye. like I don't have to take you there now, do I?
Yeah.
But he's going to be a good guy.
Yeah.
So
and I thought it was. I mean, to me, actually, while that part was clever, that she was able to be able to communicate in that one section, I think it diminishes her as a character by not having her be able to speak until then, and then for only a little bit. So I don't think that was very good, and I think that it's one of the ways in which the show could do better. I mean, I understand that it is actually a part of Star Wars that people speak in these sort of foreign tongues, and you don't see. Actually, I mean, I don't know why they can't put subtitles under these people. At least we see that. But no, to be stuck in the dark, with that stuff, I don't like that.
So in other words, we would know what they're saying even if, say, Mando doesn't.
Yeah.
I got you.
But a lot of times, though, people speak some weird language, and we don't see it, and they respond, and the character understands it, but we don't see what they say.
I thought it was somewhat out of character. We see this, the code, and this idea of taking and in fact, Frog Lady brings up the fact when she gets the translator to work, like, I thought you guys had a code, obviously.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that moment.
But because he is being a jerk.
Yes.
In this moment. Like, the ship has crashed.
Yes.
Under the ice.
Yes.
He's like, when it gets dark, it is going, woo, get ready. We're going to freeze ourselves. It's a frog. It's a frog lady. And her frog eggs. And you're saying, we're all going to freeze. It's going to be really damn cold. Okay. Well, anyway, wake me up. Like, he's going to go to sleep. And you're like, you realize you're condemning her whole race to death in this moment. Like, it seemed a little weird that he was that casual about it. Like, whatever. Anyway,
you think that every activity or agreement that he takes on is something that he's willing to die to succeed at.
Right.
Or
at least not take a nap. I don't know. Like, he could make it. You know what I mean? Like, let me go see if I can make repairs on the ship. Oh, I can't. I tried. I don't know, do something, like take some positive act to attempt to save the eggs, as opposed to whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna take a nap. Just wake me when it's dark. You're like, damn. It was just weird. It didn't feel like that's something he would have done in that moment. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if we were missing something in the choice that he was making, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Perhaps. This is a pretty creepy episode.
Sure.
And I in particular got a little bit triggered.
Oh, did you?
Because I actually had it's like the most hospitalization I have had in, say, the last, 3 decades. Got bitten by a brown recluse, was in the hospital for 5 days.
Wow.
Thanks to that. So anyway, spiders. I'm like, get the brown recluse. I mean, whatever spider this is.
You're like they're like snakes in Indiana Jones to you. You're like, why did it have to be spiders?
Why did it have to be snakes? There's a version of them that shows up in Star Wars Rebels. Looks very similar, but I think it's on a desert planet.
Okay, so these are ice spiders.
But I think there's there's a type, and we've seen something like these before in the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
And ice spiders. We heard those alluded to in Game of Thrones. Never saw them. Here they are. I was,
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's all the same world. He was landing north of the wall. Just didn't go south far enough. One theme of this episode certainly was parenthood.
Yeah.
You've got Mando is the acting parent for Yoda,
sure,
looking to keep him safe. You got Frog Lady,
yep,
parent of the eggs, and then you have what apparently is like Mama Spider.
Oh yeah.
Looking after little baby spiders.
Sure.
While little baby Yoda keeps eating other species.
Yes.
So you get that idea of like parenthood's important, and I guess stressing the importance of that familial relationship in a way between Mando and Baby Yoda will probably continue to be a thing.
Sure. As
we go forward in time.
Makes sense.
How that ship took off, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that ship took a beating.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
And I felt, as much as the X-Wing guys were nicer and they let him off the hook because their reports showed that Mando had
Helped.
worked to save the life of one of the officers in season 1, and they knew that. They're like, you know what? We're letting you off the hook, but they still leave him.
Yeah, they do.
Like, at least send for help. Could you send like a mechanic ship or something to come? Like, they're like, anyway, you're fine. Bye.
Yeah.
He is fine, as it turns out.
Yeah, it turns out.
Did they kill all the spiders?
Yeah,
They
it
shot
seems
a bunch
like,
of
you know,
spiders,
well, I guess they're all dead now.
Yeah, I was like, in other words, they leave. I was just kind of, expecting, and here's the second wave of spiders. But no, they did a little spider genocide, and now everything's good.
Yes.
They are off to this planet where they're going to meet up with Mandalorians. We've seen in the trailer for the season, I think, this planet, because I seem to remember seeing the little egg container, and they're walking around a fairly well-populated area that seems kind of water-based.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I think that is what's coming up next.
That's
and in
hopeful.
fact,
Yes.
I think that episode, at least in the trailer, I think that's where we see this mysterious dark hooded figure, which could be a Jedi, could be I don't know, maybe it's a Mandalorian. I don't know what it is, but I think there are some larger plot elements about to come to play in the next episode. So yeah, I think it needs that. So yeah. Anyway, any final thoughts, good sir?
Well, I'm still excited to see it every week, so I like the show still.
Yeah, it's an exciting show, but it has felt like almost 2 bottle episodes in a row of sorts in a way. So it's let's get back to the grand arc.
Yeah.
And see where that's going. I'm excited for that. Come on back for that and for Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
And thank you as always, Paul. Talk to you next time, good sir.
Talk to you later.
Bye.